All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, man, big rumor out there on the street about Top Rank Boxing, Bob Arum, and the demise of Top Rank and ESPN's relationship. Also, an end to a very long and obnoxious battle of the networks that have been taking place and holding back the sport of boxing for years now. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's Fanon International Boxing Channel. Welcome back. Thank you for chopping it up with us about this boxing. And before I get into what we're going to talk about, let me welcome everybody to the channel. If you're new to the channel, thank you for checking us out. Please make sure if you like the video to hit the like button. If you really like the conversation, hey, consider subscribing. And thank you to everybody that supports and sponsors this channel in the super thanks, which you can see below in the video. It's a great way to help content creators continue to do their work. Now, let's get into this because this is heavy duty stuff. We hardcore boxing fans, if you're watching my video, you are more than likely a hardcore boxing fan, have been watching what's been going on in boxing for the last several years. And maybe you noticed it, maybe you didn't, maybe you recall, maybe you don't. So let me walk back a step and remind you that starting maybe 5 years ago, there began what people were referring to as a network war in boxing. You had Showtime Boxing, you have ESPN, you have DAZN. Three entities that are competing to take over boxing to be the #1 boxing network. This led to a separation of very talented fighters and a difficulty in making a good amount of a lot of fights getting made. Many people attested it to the cowardishness of individual fighters, boxing in general, what have you. However, when Eddie Hearn came in and said he was taking over boxing, he was going to take away fighters from the PBC, and he was going to be hiring and get everybody on underneath the zone, began a network war. Well, let me tell you, that war looks like it may be over, and the victor of that war very well may be Showtime Boxing and the PBC. Now, big news coming out of Twitter, at least this is the word on the street, is that ESPN is considering terminating Top Rank's boxing contract early. This is out on Twitter. This is not out in any official announcement. It very well may not be the case, just to be clear. However, what is very clear is that there have been a bunch of very high-profile layoffs at ESPN. In the media, ESPN is talking about shrinking its budget, spending less money on they started with personalities, but just generally ESPN has to find ways to save money. And the word on the street is that ESPN is not happy with Top Rank Boxing's ratings, and they are not happy with Top Rank with the return on investment of Top Rank's recent pay-per-views, which would be obviously the Devin Haney versus Vasily Lomachenko fight. And that they may look to end early Top Rank's the contract that Top Rank has. Now, let me tell you how significant that would be. Top Rank is almost 100% matter of fact, yeah, almost 100% of their fighters are fighting on ESPN. Every once in a while, you'll have one that may go over and fight on the Zone, or every once in a while, you may have somebody, where they can maybe work out something with ESPN. Lomachenko fought on the Zone. They did a dual fight with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, obviously, even though that situation doesn't really apply to what I'm talking about, but just in case people mention it in the comment section. However, most of their business is with ESPN. Just like before that, most of their business was with HBO, and they went to ESPN because HBO was shutting their boxing business down. So now you've got Top Rank in another situation where they may be pulling their contract back from them. And this would not be the first time that ESPN pulled contracts from somebody that was contracted to put on boxing events. They did it with Golden Boy Promotions as well. And Top Rank replaced Golden Boy Promotions because Golden Boy Promotions could not put on the type of shows that they wanted. So what happens if they do that? That means Top Rank is going to have to go to who? They're going to have to start doing business with with Showtime and the PBC, because the Zone is already showing that it's not investing the money in as much money in American fights. However, any way you cut it, it basically shows you what I've always said, which is that ESPN is not serious about boxing, which is why you see that Top Rank cards being primarily, even like the one that's coming up tonight. And I like Jared Anderson a lot. I like many of the fighters that are over there at Top Rank a lot, right? But they're putting them in there with fighters that are not competitive fights. So you're not really that interested in the fight itself. You may just go there because you want to see what this potential excellent fighter could be one day based off what you see him do against competition that's not good. But why is that? Why do they do that? They do that so that they can make money off the contract. You give them a certain amount of money to budget towards their fights, so they're making fights that allow Top Rank to make money. But at the end of the day, they're not making competitive fights or fights that are really people absolutely want to see. Now, what's the situation? And this is ironic, seeing as so many people were crying that PBC was going out of business and Showtime was going out of business. What's Showtime done? Showtime, boxing left Showtime. As far as the organizational structure of Paramount is concerned, it's no longer associated with the same group that puts on the rest of the stuff, rest of the programming with Showtime. It's now with CBS Sports, and it appears as if their budget is increased. Why? Because I suspect because they're putting on fights that people actually want to see. That they're putting on, that they have 1 million pay-per-view sell with Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia. They're probably going to do it again with Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford. And now they got Canelo Alvarez and excellent fights for Canelo Alvarez, which they didn't do over there on DAZN. So I'm telling you, man, it looks like the network war is coming to an end, and there's a whole lot of people out there who have a lot of invested a lot in the downfall of PBC and Showtime, where it may look like, dude, that may be the only top-notch boxing you're getting on a regular basis. Truth be told, it's been the case that it's the only real top-notch boxing that people have been getting on a consistent basis. It's just a lot of people out there just again in a network war, which also consists of the public relations that these people are doing through their media, through the ESPN Top 10 list, through Max Kellerman, through Tim Bradley, through all the way to Ring Magazine, which is associated with Oscar De La Hoya, which was also over there on DAZN, and also in bed and had been in bed for a long time with ESPN. I'm telling you, man, it's going to be real interesting to see what pops off over there, because over with Showtime and the PBC, dude, it is going bananas over there. Now they got Canelo Alvarez and Jermell Charlo. Who would have saw that coming? Even with Jamal is like, okay, yeah, we've seen that, talked about that for years, but that's a great fight between him and Jermell Charlo. No joke. That's a great fight. Those guys are both two of the best 154 pounders that there's been in the last decade. And people don't tell me, oh, this is a weight bully move by Canelo. I don't buy that, because Canelo was a 154 pounder. He's not a full-blown 160. 168. He may be at this point in time a full-blown 160, but hey, no, that's a legitimate fight. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.